Mr. Trevor. We're back here on Caribbean Music Line, and we were discussing for the entire past, the greater part of the half on our neighboring rights. And apparently we see now that a lot of areas that where many creative people are entitled to a living, and we see just how they can make that living. Before we go to, I want to discuss, what are some of the ramifications of someone not making themselves aware of what they have or contributed to.
Yeah, I
being a musical person yourself.
I don't want to say that people are excessively ignorant of the realities, but possibly that could be the situation. And I have something jotted down, and I'd like to probably let our viewers hear.
Please.
However, in the same example, the performers of the orchestra as well as the producer of the CD containing a recording of the concert would enjoy related rights. The performers in the orchestra, those people who we sit and we see these big, massive orchestras, the people who play the violin and the trombone and the bugle and all these stuff, and it have a conductor out there, every one of them at the end of the day, in the international arena, is entitled to an income that is called from related or neighboring rights.
So you're talking about like symphonic orchestras and
symphonic orchestras. Now, when you as a musician or a performer go to a neighboring rights organization, you have to show proof. I played with Harry Brown Symphony. My instrument was the trumpet, the name of the song. Probably you could get the producer of the song. They need proof that you are entitled to the right, because that symphony orchestra, that music could be used as background music in a movie, for a jingle, an advertisement, just for corporate use. And you are telling me that the corporation paid the producer to produce a jingle. They use the music for the sync right to create the video for 1 million people to see. Are you telling me, Adrian, I as a musician who played on that piece of music, viewed by 1 million people, where the corporation paid the production company probably $20,000 US, and you just take $20,000 US. You go to the bank, you fix yourself, and I, the musician, have nothing to get. It's either, as you said, they don't know, somebody did not tell them, the truth is being hidden, they'll just love to perform, they just love their instrument. Do you know how expensive it is to take care of an instrument? Say like the pan. I understand that the pan must have a tuner. The pan must be chromed. The pan must be blended. It must be in a case because it's an instrument. The cost of a trumpet. The cost of a professional keyboard, 10,000 US. Are you now telling me that as a musician, or let's go to the background vocalist, the person dress themselves, it's expensive, and you go to perform, like I was saying. These individuals that we see in Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, we have the Calypso tents. Those individuals who you see is supporting the performer, or supporting the author, or supporting the composer, they are entitled to that right. So what we are doing on this program, Adrian, is allowing them to know that their rights have been whittled down because they don't know, they don't have any proof, they just love doing it, and probably, like I said before in another forum, they are employed elsewhere. So their income comes from another source, not from the music source. So I was told, I don't know what you, Adrian, but I was told, Trevor Boy, music has nothing in it. I live today to recognize that there is what they call royalties. And those royalties run for 75 years plus 75 years after I die as an author and a composer. 50 years plus 50 years after I die as a musician or a performer. So why shouldn't I enjoy 100 years of royalties?
Well, to answer your first question, I am not a musician. I don't possess any musical bones.
Yes.
I am musically hollow, for one of a better word. Yes,
okay.
All right, so I can't answer that question in that regard.
Yeah.
But I have heard, so like you said, that people think that a living can be made from it. I also disagree with that. It can be made, but you need to inform yourself as to where your money should be coming from. To answer your second question, the people who doing background vocals, instrumentations, live performances,
right?
I don't think I don't think per se that their rights have been whittled down. It's there. It's still there. At the end of the day, regardless, okay. It's still there.
Fair enough.
You just need to inform yourself as to what my rights are in terms of proximity to where I am to.
Okay, I agree with that. Fair enough. That's fair.
I'll also play devil's advocate for a while and say, now when these big recording companies or whomever making a CD and it's like a large symphony, be it pan or secular music, they will probably say, well, we can't name 100 people, we can't put 100 people on a CD. This will look like a blackboard.
Right.
Okay. But you're just saying at the end of the day, at least recognize their talent.
Recognize their talent and have some form of documentation that I could go to the record label and probably we'll deal with that in another program. The record label in some instances in other jurisdictions own the right for everything and the record label distributes the royalty. That is why in other jurisdictions music is $1 billion industry. Why music can't be $1 billion industry in the Caribbean? Is it because it's only up to the artists who perform and get a performance fee of $5,000? What about the other conduits that make this artist the artist? The producer, the musician, the lighting, the engineering. You know, it might not be a related right in this case, but they contribute to the author and the composer. We have, Adrian, the artist. The artist don't necessarily, Adrian, have to be the author and the composer.
So true.
So what we are doing really is supporting the author and composer's work. And we are building a house around the plan.
That one center pillar.
That was one center pillar. You know, so that's what it is. And we need people, our viewing public, in our jurisdiction and globally to understand that there is royalties that are being locked. There are organizations, Adrian, in the UK. There's an organization that my record label is registered with. You know what they tell me? Mr. Edwards, you from the Caribbean. We have a lot of money here for Caribbean musicians and Caribbean producers.
You don't see?
Yes, there's a fact. They cannot receive it because they are not members, or probably they don't know. And they would say, Trevor Boy, the music playing outside. Then go and join an outside organization because the money is sitting there. Millions of pounds is sitting there for Caribbean musicians, Caribbean background vocals, Caribbean producers. That income per Caribbean executive producer. So I hope that we're able to share with the public, you know, what is taking place. Yeah.
So in closing, I would just like to add that whether you're a jazz musician, a soca up-and-coming star, an instrumentalist, or someone who just loves to play and plans or hopes on going and perform on the outside, both Trevor and myself solidly agree that you should at least inform yourself, make aware the rights that you do possess, because like we said before, there is cash to be made and there's cash waiting for you on the outside. Not saying go and rob anybody, it's there, but get it legally. And anything you want to add in closing, Mr. Trevor?
Well, I just hope that the information, Adrian, that we shared today is sufficient for these individuals who have supported the authors and composers of their creative work. Understand that they are also partakers or shareholders in some way of the production.
All right, so before we go, of course, just know your rights, know what is entitled to you. Of course, I'm Adrian Simmons on behalf of Mr. Edwards. And all of us here at Caribbean Music Line, folks, do enjoy yourself, and until we meet again.